Ba-do-ba-do. Welcome to the Gypsypotamus. Welcome to the Gypsypotamus. Welcome to the Gypsypotamus. Welcome to Experience.
Dude, I did want to explore that though. What do you think about that? So, my thought was, what if death is just for like chumps? Being scared of death is like, doesn't make sense. Because it's just a natural thing that you do. It's like going to sleep.
That's just what it is for me. I've always thought that like dying is just like, it's going to sleep without dreaming, not knowing you're asleep. You know what I mean?
Right.
Where it's just like, I fell asleep, but it was all black. I don't remember sleeping. That was it. Like, that's what death is to me.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
Yeah.
It's just what it is.
But like, what if it was another plane? Like what if life was a river and death is just a waterfall? Like the process of death is just you going down the waterfall to like another river of life.
I think that's what scares people, and I think that's why there's so many things for people to like really lean on and hope for and wish for is something in the afterlife.
Yeah.
Because I think it's a scary thing to think that like, hey,
this experience is ending.
Nothing, like this is it, and that's it. There's nothing more. Like, what was the point? You know what I mean?
What do you mean?
Like you lived and died. Like, and then there's nothing after. There was nothing before.
What do you mean? There's nothing before.
Here's the thing.
You had it. You had the experience. You had to come here somehow, right?
Well, do you think like I don't know if your soul travels or anything like that. If the soul is like such a thing.
I feel like there's way too many experiences of people like experiencing like something that's not inside of them, like their physical body. They're experiencing an out-of-body experience, you know. Like there's a lot of people that have described that so much that I feel like it must be, you know, a real thing.
Were they on drugs when they had them?
Well, define drugs, because your body produces the craziest drugs that is your experience, is like your body's chemistry, you know? So it's like everything that your body's producing, like including DMT when you die, you know, that's all the experience. So it's like you're just running on chemicals to begin with. So what's a drug? Just like an exterior stimulus?
Sure.
Or what is it called? Exogenous? Isn't that what it's called when you're doing something outside? Like you're introducing things to your body's chemistry?
I don't know, I'd have to look up your word. You just said exogenous?
Yeah. But yeah, essentially like, I'm sure that's what you mean. But yeah, like you have so many drugs that are technically, it's all just chemicals, but drugs that are like made inside of your body. Your body is the factory for them.
Okay. Exogenous.
What's that mean?
Essentially what you said.
Where it's just like an external stimulus that you introduce to the system that is your body.
Yeah, are caused by an agent or organism outside of the body.
Gotcha. I have a feeling that there is potentially like another existence after this. Like you see things come and go all the time, you know, into this world. Like you see the process of birth and death like so often in the world that like it's just there needs to be some sort of cycle, in my opinion, you know, of energy, like physical matter energy that is somewhere like in the universe. It exists somewhere in the universe. But then again, I'm also like I'm just basing that off of, you know, like physics, like energy, you know, like theorems, essentially. Like things that they've already proven to, as far as we know, is extent. Like the number one rule of physics is like, or energy rather, is like energy can't be destroyed. It can only be like transferred. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So, like, in my opinion, there's, like, no way that our energy, our life form, that is the energy that's there, is not, like, doesn't exist somewhere on a plane that exists in the universe. Like, we probably don't have, we certainly don't have senses.
See, here's the
to
thing.
that plane.
I don't think we came from somewhere else to come here, and then when we leave here by dying, we go somewhere else. I don't think that's it. Because if that's the case, then...
Well, you don't. Your embodiment does.
No, it doesn't.
Like, that's what my opinion is. Like, your soul, leaves the physical being that is you.
That's what I mean. Like, your soul, that's who you are, you know? So your soul, in my opinion, that doesn't happen.
Yeah, you don't think that that's a possibility?
I'm not saying it's not a possibility. Anything's possible.
Oh, shit.
You know? Yeah, anything's possible. I'm not saying that it's definitely not a possibility.
Yeah.
But if we're saying, hey, what do you think it is? All right, out of all the possibilities it could be, I'm just saying, I think this is it. Like, you start here, you finish here, there's nothing before, nothing after.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Like, what do you mean by you, though?
Your soul.
Your soul...
But I don't really believe, like, a soul, like, enters, like, the body that I have now and will leave the body.
Yeah.
I don't believe that either.
Right. Well, I mean, it's very subjective, like, everything that we're saying is because, like, there's obviously never going to be proof, but also, like, there's, like, but you yourself, your experience won't be that experience if you are not yourself. You know?
No, I don't.
I think there is something else that you experience as an entity in the universe. That's what I think.
Okay. And I don't think that.
Right. Why can't you entertain the subject? What's the flaw in it for you?
No, it's not that I can't entertain it. I'm saying, like I said, I think it's a possibility? Yeah. But if I'm to, like, choose one, like, and be like, all right, but if you had to choose out of all these options, what would you go with? Like, that's the one I'm going with. I just think there's nothing.
Okay. What is your take on it then?
Because think about
your full take.
If you say that, like, your soul can leave this body, but it's still you, you know, that's you, your soul. You know?
Right.
So your soul leaves your body, and you as your soul travel somewhere else. That means that every soul existing now or not has already existed if they have to come here. And so it's like predetermined that who's going to have children and, you know, who their kids are going to be due to the fact that these souls are just always entering. And so when it's said like that, it's kind of like we're all just like souls trying to get to Earth in a body. You know what I mean?
Dude, so many times have I, like, heard instances that, like, kids are having, essentially, like, are born and, like, learn to communicate and, like, talk, and then, like, they're like talking, like, some kids are, like, talking about, like, their past lives and shit like that. Have you heard of those cases? And, like, people have actually looked up, like, I remember one case in particular, like, this kid, like, looked up, or, like, had, was like, yeah, like, I was this person, and, like, he was, like, a entertainer in, like, Hollywood, or Broadway, that's what it was. And it was, like, some dude from, like, the 18-somethings. Like that, like, it could obviously be like a totally made up story, and the kid could have just been like put out there to fucking tell it, obviously. But like there's like I guess a lot of stuff that didn't add up. Well, of course, which of course I'm super skeptical about. But regardless, you know, like it's like there's like to me there's a lot of like there's just too many kids. That come out like saying weird shit about their past lives or something, like their past, like it's like what they did before their current experience.
I've heard a couple stories like that, but I don't believe those. I think they're fake stories.
Yeah. It could be.
I definitely.
You're right. You gotta test these kids, but I think it's absolutely possible. and there's just like, you know, it's always been philosophized.
Reincarnation, they just keep bouncing to body to body. So what if it was like this?
Something like that.
What if this was it?
But
What
like
if your soul's always moving, right?
Yeah.
Maybe it comes from some other place, not necessarily Earth. And maybe, what if they used Earth as like a passage portal? So like this is like an Uber almost.
Yeah.
And so what they do is they come to Earth, and that's why people die.
They use it as an Uber.
just hear me out, though. Hear me out. So they use it as an Uber in the sense that they come to Earth, right?
Yeah.
This is why people die at all different ages, because sometimes their ride's a little bit shorter before they come up to where they need to go. The Earth's always moving, spinning, you know what I mean?
Right.
And sometimes, you know, the ride's a little bit longer.
Yeah. So what you're saying is like, you're just like, you have only a certain amount of time here, and like that's why people have like different luck with their lives.
I think once we get here and we start to realize, like, hey, our bodies like don't want to die though. Maybe the bodies fight to stay. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, yeah, like you're just fighting to like make this experience whatever you want it to.
Possible.
Yeah, well, like most people now are like looking toward that, but like before, people were just trying to survive, man. You know, like that's like your survival, like in the wild, was your time clock. You know, and like right now, it's like you don't have that time clock anymore, or the chance of like ever getting jacked. Like, you obviously have the chance of getting jacked, like, in the real world now still.
You say
like,
jacked,
fucking, like,
in the
no,
face.
just, no. Like, die.
Oh.
Like, you can get jacked by, like, a cougar, you know, in the wild or something, no, but...
Well, on somewhat of a similar yet different subject, let's talk, extraterrestrials. So, leading us off, do you believe in extraterrestrials?
I do believe in beings that exist that are not part of this planet. Like our planet being Earth.
And do you believe that...
And by beings, I mean like organisms. Not necessarily human beings, but like organisms that exist. Because think about it, fucking... There's bacteria that grows that doesn't need oxygen. Like pretty much most of the things on this planet need what this planet offers, which is like the chemicals and the natural resources and stuff. And they actually start like living symbiotically with those minerals, like in those organisms here that like have the predisposition to like, or maybe they were just thrown into somehow developing like through the fucking minerals. And then those animals like live in symbiotic relationships with those resources. Like plants and stuff do the same. You know?
I guess.
But I believe that there's other organisms outside that live not on this planet.
But I'm talking, do you believe in extraterrestrials such as ones in the possible movies, such like Predator and Alien? Those types, like something along the lines of.
Yeah, I bet there's something crazy like that.
Intelligent, knowledgeable being out there that's way more advanced than us.
So something like the stereotypical, like big-headed, like gray skin type of thing. Dude.
Sure. Whatever we want them to look like.
Yeah,
it
man.
doesn't matter, but I'm just saying something
I think
like that is of a higher intelligence than we are.
Doesn't even matter how they look.
No.
Yeah. I think there's definitely a possibility.
Further advanced, like
there is a possibility that we're on the like the organisms that we call us as humans on this planet are like the pinnacle rather of the like knowledge of like we could be the top of the food chain when it comes to like intelligence, you know, there's definitely a potential for that, but I feel like there is also a very large potential that we're not the furthest along.
So, have you heard about this 400,000 plus people raiding Area 51?
What?
Yeah. Have you heard about this?
Well, I heard that they're doing it, but I just like saw the headline. I didn't like look into it though. Why? Do you know any details about it?
I mean, I read the article from the guy. And so, supposedly what he wrote, like, he got people pumped up and he's like, listen, they can't shoot all of us.
What?
Let's go find these aliens. And people were like, I'm in, and started like registering.
Well,
Or whatever, I don't know, not registering, but like tagging in, going, I'm in, like, I'll be there, let's do this, like, this is happening, let's find aliens.
yeah.
And,
I guarantee you they're not going to get anywhere because everything's underground.
and the guy posted at the end, he's like, hey, U.S. government, I'm just messing around. Like, this is just a joke. Like, I was just curious. Like, I'm not really doing this. I'm not really trying to get this together, just so you know.
But he was just like talking about it, about doing it.
Yeah.
And then a lot of people were on board. Like a shocking amount. Wow. No,
yeah,
but that's pretty crazy
He was
though.
trying to say, like, if anyone does show up and they do this, like, I'm not responsible for
Right.
it, because I'm just kidding. Like, I'm not really organizing this.
Because I bet he got so many PMs about it.
What's a PM?
Private message. Or a DM.
I know
Whatever.
what a DM direct message. Yeah, I just didn't know.
Yeah,
Are those
yeah.
the same thing?
Pretty much. There's interchangeable, I guess. But, well, alright, so here's the thing. I actually listened to Bob Lazar's interview on the JRE. And that was like, I was like, what? I was like, yes. Because, dude, like, I'm a huge fan of engineering, you know? I was just, like, super nerding at, like, him just describing the technology. Like, the, whatever, like, is powering the crafts that they have or something.
Okay.
Like, and I'm a huge fan of, like, those, basically just, like, units that, like, it would be badass for a unit to, like, power itself. Like, that would be opportune, right?
Okay.
Like, I'm a big fan of that type of shit. Or, like, almost perfect energy flows or whatever, where, like, you know those pieces of artwork that you, like, it's like, it like, moves, but it uses, like, the natural, like, energy of gravity or something like that to work. You know what I mean? I forget what those are called, just like not autonomous machines, but there's a word for them. But anyway, like, I'm a big fan of that type of shit, where it's like circular energy flow is like demonstrated,
Okay.
and it's fucking, like, I think, like, and I think there's like technology such as that somewhere possible. But yeah, like, I was just nerding out at, like, him was it Lazar describing, like, how the, like, form of energy for the engines of these crafts worked, and it was just like, that's fucking nuts, because it, like, what is it, like, bends gravity around it, like, which means that you don't have any momentum inside, you're just, like, almost, like, still inside of it, like, you feel like you're standing still, like, there's no momentum, whatever, but anyway, yeah, which is, like, why they can do, like, such crazy maneuvers or something, allegedly. But, yeah, it's always fascinated me. So I was, like, super nerding out, yeah, at that shit. Yeah, dude, like, I've done my fair research of, like, whether UFOs, like, are real or not. Like, I feel like I have done a good amount of research on it.
Yeah, what kind of research have you done?
Just, like, looking shit up.
Google?
Pretty much.
Or do you go to the what is it, the black web or the dark web or something?
Oh,
like
no.
internet? Do you know what I'm talking about?
I've actually never entered the dark web.
The dark web.
I've never never stepped foot in the dark web. It sounds sticky. Sounds like it'd be like a black hole, but a black web, like, that sounds just as volatile as a black hole.
That does sound just as volatile.
But yeah, it's so crazy. What that interview was about, like, the guy was pretty fucking, like, set in his story. And, like, obviously there's a lot of fucking weirdness going on with that entire, you know, story itself. You know what I mean? Like, weirdness that's like how, you know, the government, like, wiped his name, like, his birth records and shit like that, allegedly. They did all this shit, like, and that's pretty effed up. And this was, like, I don't know how old the guy is. He must be in his, like, 60s or 70s by now, I'm guessing. But yeah, he just has fucking crazy stories. Whether true or not, those are fucking fun-ass stories, dude. You gotta admit that. Like, it's fun to listen to a story about otherworldly beings, and especially if it's a true one, you know?
Well.
Or very possible that it's true. It's fucking nuts. That's, like, literally the story of a lifetime. I feel like us as humans have always been, like, very excited by that narrative, like sci-fi narratives. Like,
I've had an encounter with an extraterrestrial being.
Yeah?
I mean, E.T. was pretty much my life growing up.
Nice. Did you have him, like, physically? Did you have, like, a doll of him or
It wasn't E.T.
anything like that? Like a cutout
But
you,
I
like,
did
hugged every morning?
a similar situation to
You're like, hey, E.T.
an extraterrestrial experience.
Did you?
Just like the
Did you
movie
see
E.T.
something, dude?
Lived with me.
Yeah? Did you take him out, like, in your little cage or whatever, or your basket on your bike?
No.
Damn.
The government found him and took him to Area 51.
Nice, dude. You just, like, right before you leave, you're like, hey, man, very sorry, but you know they're gonna probe your ass.
But they actually moved Area 51 and it's now Area 47.
Yeah?
It was a bigger lot.
Allegedly. That's crazy, dude. I've never heard of that.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure, like, they moved the Area 51, but, like, isn't it mostly underground? Supposedly, allegedly.
Allegedly.
Dude, what if they just have, like, miles of tunnels?
I remember when Google,
Like, why wouldn't people have miles of tunnels by now? Like, that sounds very doable
I remember when
in our day and
Google
age.
Maps first started, like, really getting popular and big and stuff.
Yeah.
And they had covered Area 51, like, over it. People were searching and searching and searching it. And the government made them blur it out.
Yeah.
And then they made them just, like, kind of, like, map it over. So now so you can't even see, like, if you scroll over it, it just looks like...
Have you looked it up?
Yeah.
Nice. Like, yeah, of course. Like, it would be so funny if you just Googled Area 51, like, Google Maps that shit.
Yeah.
And then it just, like, came up and you're like, oh, look at that. Like, I bet that's the tower that you, like, go down. You, like, go, like, 13 miles deep. And you just, like, go to, like, some conference room. You just, like, walk into it and you're like, oh, shit. Didn't know this was all the way down here. But then you have to, like, touch, like, a secret button or on, like, the wall, or, like, you have to do something even crazier, like fucking have, like, a tile lift up, like some Matrix, like, secret door shit, where you have, like, a tile you have to, like, either push in or, like, lift up, and there's something with, like, a nozzle or something, and then either way, like, bam, like, you turn it, and I don't know, or you're just, like, chilling in, like, a giant gymnasium, like, the wall opens up, and there's just fucking Jordan, like, playing basketball with fucking all the greats that passed away, in quotes, like Elvis, and Michael Jackson's out there. Who else? It's like everyone that has possibly been one of those and, like, has passed whenever, like, in there, all of their shit was a conspiracy. Like, there was, like, questions about it. Like, they're also there. There's, like, bleacher stands full of people. But yeah, it's a fun idea, though. It'd be cool if that is the case. I think it's pretty cool that like there's other technology out there, if that is really the case, you know? And then like we're actually like, dude, I'm sure that in the possibility of possibilities, we've literally probably touched like a tiny like crumb on like a literal mountain of technology, like technological, you know, possibilities.
Okay.
I mean, like, as long as you can think of it, you could probably make it, you know? Well, yeah, I guess. Like, literally, like, everything you think of, you can make it and, like, have it, like, somehow have the technology to do it or the possibility of doing it. I think that's pretty legit. That's like a cool idea.
If you can think it, you can make it.
Yeah. I think that if you can think of doing something, you can make a way to do it. Like whether it's through technology.
I thought you meant make
like
something.
Right. I mean, like that's part of it.
Like
that's the process of doing it. If you need to make something to do it, then you need to make something.
Legit.
Like use your resources.
From Black Ops 1.
Yeah, dude. I'm sure that it's possible.
Doubt it.
I don't know if like the size will be there right away, like down to that little size. But you can isn't that the goal to like going forward with technological advancements until you get what you want?
Well, no, until
like what your goal is.
Obviously, until you get what you want, but once you get
you're
what
just
you
driving
want,
toward that
like,
goal.
Hey, I got what I want. Like, let's keep this going. It's
right.
never
What's
ending.
the next thing that I want?
It's never ending, even if
Right.
it's upgrading what I want.
Right. Yeah, because then it's gonna like have like a double trigger at some point. Like if it's like after they finally get it that small, they'll probably have like a little like tiny PP7 one, and then like just like all sorts of variations. They'll have it like shiny. They'll have it like whatever. Like they'll play off the fucking demands, dude, of whoever is
Maybe
demanding
they'll change like different levels. Like this ray gun will kill a person. This one will stun a person.
Right. Yeah, it could have like different things, but they already have like stun guns and shit. Like you don't need a ray gun for that.
Yeah, but you know what?
Unless you want to stun and ray them. You like stun it with the like butt of it.
No. I'm talking like the power from the rays being shot itself.
I'm gonna wrap it up real quick.
When we started hanging. Cool, yeah, wrap it up.
Yeah, dude. So that's pretty badass. Thanks for talking, dude. Thanks for chatting with me. Thanks for chatting with Jivko
and Tommy. Gypsypotamus.
All right.
Part of the Gypsypotamus Experience. Whoa. There's.
Sorry, buddy.
Good way to extraterrestrials.
Thank you very much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed that. If you'd like to see more of the Gypsypotamus Experience, check out our Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Gypsypotamus. If you enjoyed the Gypsypotamus Experience, I also have a side project. It's called Dropping a Morning Log with Jivko. Until next time, take it easy.